portraits are. You've seen the YouTube. Now, I'm going to show you 4 famous portraits. We're going to talk about who created these portraits and what style these portraits are in. So the first one is made. This is a picture of a ballerina or dancer. It's called, the portrait's actually called The Dancer. And the dancer is by an artist or painter by the name Auguste Renoir. Renoir was French. You know, I don't have, well, actually we'll talk about that in a minute, yes. Renoir was a French painter and he painted in the style, he was an impressionist. The style is impressionism, and impressionism is where they used short, clear brush strokes, but they were very visible. And you can kind of see, look at that. It gives it sort of a fuzzy look. You see that? But it gives you the impression of the dancer. They often use a mixture of colors, and impressionists were inspired by natural lighting and sunlight, and it helped them come up with this color combination. Create that as you're talking about what you see in the palette. The next picture is called a self-portrait. What's a self-portrait? Callie.
It's like where you, like if I were to draw a picture of myself, most of the time you have like a mirror in front of you, and when you're like trying to draw yourself on like a canvas.
Absolutely. This is by Paul Gauguin. I'm saying that right. And Gauguin did this self-portrait. He is known, the time period that he worked in is called post-impressionism, meaning after the Impressionists. But you can still see traces of it. Like can you see the brush strokes in that picture?
Yeah, there's some right there and like some right there.
Are they as obvious, or is there as many of them as there are in the dancer?
I think there's like, you can see more of like brush strokes, I think, in the ballerina.
Absolutely, the dancer. So, but it's post-impressionist. There's still some impressionist features in it, but it's not as obvious. But this one, I want to talk to you about a feature called symbolism. And what I mean by symbolism is there are some symbols in this. For instance, what does that look like to you?
Fruit.
And those fruits, that fruit probably means something. I don't know all the symbolism in this picture, and this is actually a research that you could do later. You were really interested in discovering.
Because it's like an angel.
That was what I was going to talk to you about. Thank you, Maria and Callie. Yes, there's a circle above his head. It's kind of making him seem a little bit like
an angel.
Angelic. Yes. So that might be fun to go back and look into the symbolism in Gauguin's picture. Then, this is
Abstract.
a Harlequin musician. It is a type of abstract. Who do you think it's by, Maria? Who did you ask for earlier?
Picasso.
It is by Pablo Picasso. And Pablo Picasso introduces this idea of cubism. Absolutely.
We have a book. We have a bunch of books at our school or in our classroom. And we have a bunch of books that are about painters. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, maybe when you get back to your classroom on Monday, you might want to look at Pablo Picasso and read what it says about Cubism. But I'll give you a little brief introduction of Cubism. And Cubism is where they
layer them.
Kind of.
And they kind of like make it into something, you know, that you're trying to.
Yeah, they break a whole into pieces.
I see.
And then they put it back together.
And it sort of looks like a person, like you have to find the shape of the person, they're all like cubes and different inside, and they're trying to make like some pictures.
Absolutely. It makes really, really interesting pictures. And then finally, I'm going to show you this picture. It's by Emilio Modigliani. And this picture is actually called Leon Basque, who is also a painter. So he painted a picture of another painter. And you guys can